Have you ever found yourself in the middle of a conversation with a man who said all the right things, yet something deep inside whispered that his words were not the whole truth? Perhaps he told you that you were beautiful, that he admired you, that he cared for you. Perhaps he touched your hand gently, leaned close as if to show his affection, and smiled in a way that made your heart soften. And yet, there was a quiet unease within you, a sense that you were not entirely sure if his attention was for you, the real you, or for something he wanted from you. This gentle but persistent whisper inside is not confusion. It is intuition. It is the wisdom of your soul reminding you that words can be painted with sweetness, but the body speaks a language that never lies. The truth is this: a man's body language tells the story that his mouth may never confess. His eyes, his posture, the way his presence responds to your boundaries, or how he sits in your silence, all of these reveal whether his interest in you is born from love, or whether it is stirred only by desire and lust. And here lies the invitation for you, dear listener, to stop relying solely on what you hear, and to begin noticing what you feel and observe. Because love is not proven by eloquent promises or rehearsed phrases. Love is revealed in the moments when no reward is waiting for him. In the ways he stays present even when the atmosphere is quiet, ordinary, or even inconvenient. Imagine this: he gazes into your eyes with intensity. But you must ask yourself, when does he do it? Does his gaze deepen when you share a story about your dreams, your childhood, or the little things that make your soul unique? Or does that intensity only appear when the room is filled with flirtation and physical tension? There is a difference, and that difference matters more than you might realize. Because love is not the heat of anticipation. It is not the spark that exists only when desire is in the air. Real love is steady, grounded, and calm. It is eye contact that does not burn you, but settles you. It is the gaze that holds you when you speak about things that might not entertain him but matter deeply to you. Love is not about seduction, it is about safety. So as we begin this journey together, I invite you to soften into a new way of seeing. A way that listens not just to his words, but to the truth written in his body. A way that honors your inner knowing and gives you the courage to distinguish between the fleeting thrill of lust and the timeless presence of love. And in this exploration, we are not here to judge men harshly or to divide them into categories of good and bad. We are here to empower you with awareness so that you do not lose precious time, so that you can nurture relationships built on sincerity, and so that you may recognize when a man's presence is aligned with your heart rather than with his own fleeting desires. The language of his eyes. There is something undeniably powerful about eye contact. When a man looks into your eyes, it can feel as though the world has paused. For many women, that moment feels like intimacy, like he is truly seeing into their soul. Yet, not every gaze carries the same truth. Some eyes are searching not for connection, but for opportunity. The difference lies in when and how he chooses to hold that gaze. If his eyes lock with yours only in moments of physical closeness, when the air is thick with anticipation, then what he seeks is not the depths of who you are but the satisfaction of what he desires. That gaze is not love, it is hunger. It is the anticipation of something physical, not the reverence of your essence. But when a man is genuinely interested in you, his eyes will rest on yours when there is no performance, no excitement, and no promise of intimacy. He will look at you when you are laughing about something silly, when you are explaining your dreams in detail, even when you are telling a story that might seem ordinary or unimportant. His gaze will not demand. It will accompany. It will not burn with intensity. It will ground you in calmness. Think about the feeling you get when someone listens without needing anything in return. It is steady. It is safe. That is what love feels like in the eyes. Lust is sharp and piercing, but love is gentle and anchoring. Lust stirs heat. Love builds peace. Some women test this truth without even realizing it. They share a mundane story, something about their day, and watch the man's response. If his attention fades, if his eyes begin to wander, if his body seems restless, it reveals that his connection to her was never about her inner world. But if his eyes stay, if his presence lingers even when nothing is exciting, then she knows he is here for her, not just for the moments that entertain him. A man who is connected through love will not just stare when he wants to touch you. He will look at you when you are simply existing. His gaze will soften when you are quiet. His attention will deepen when you open your heart, even in small ways. The truth is, eye contact can be misleading when viewed only through intensity. Many women confuse passion with presence. Yet passion without presence leaves emptiness. Presence without passion, however, is the soil from which real intimacy grows. So notice his eyes. Notice not just their intensity but their timing. Do they appear only when he desires something from you? Or do they stay when you are offering nothing but your authentic self? For love reveals itself not in hunger, but in the willingness to simply be with you as you are. When boundaries reveal his truth, there is a beautiful yet challenging moment in every connection, a moment when you express your boundaries. It might be as simple as saying no when you do not feel ready, or asking for space when you need to breathe. It might be sharing something serious, something that matters deeply to you, and watching how he responds when the lightness of flirtation fades. This moment is a mirror. It reflects not only who he is, but what he seeks from you. A man who is fueled only by desire will often shift in these moments. His warmth may fade the instant you stop giving him what he wants. His body may lean away. His smile may disappear. His responses may shrink into short, distant words. Sometimes he may even walk away altogether. What you are witnessing is not punishment, it is disinterest. Because for him, the goal was never connection. It was compliance. But love shows itself differently. A man who is drawn to you for who you are will not vanish when you say no. He will not turn cold when you set a boundary. In fact, he will lean closer, because he understands that real intimacy grows in the presence of honesty, not in the shadow of silent submission. He will respect your voice, even when it slows down what he desires. Boundaries do not scare love away. They deepen it. They invite a man to show whether he is interested only in your willingness to please him, or in the truth of your heart and needs. Think about this. If a man's affection is like a spotlight, bright when you are playing the part he wants, but fading the moment you step out of that role, then it was never love. It was performance. True affection remains when the script changes. It is important to remember that some men, especially when young or inexperienced, may react poorly to boundaries at first simply because they have not yet learned the depth of mature love. But a man who remains unchanged in his disregard for boundaries, even as he grows older, reveals something much deeper: a lack of respect, a lack of willingness to truly see you. And this is where your strength lies. To recognize that your voice, your limits, your truth, are not obstacles to love. They are the very doorway to it. The man who stays after hearing your no, who remains warm when things are not going his way, that is the man whose heart is connected to yours beyond desire. Because when a man's affection can survive your honesty, you know that he is not staying for what you give him, but for who you are. The stillness that speaks. So much of what we are taught about attraction is wrapped in excitement, the spark, the laughter, the playfulness, the teasing energy that feels like fireworks. And yes, those moments are beautiful. They make the heart race. They create chemistry, and they leave you smiling. But if you want to know the difference between a man who desires you for the thrill and a man who loves you for the essence of who you are, you must look beyond the excitement. The truth is, excitement is easy to mirror. A man can laugh when you laugh, lean in when you tease, or match your playful energy. This is not always proof of love, it is often a simple way of creating false closeness. Lust thrives on this. Manipulation thrives on this. Because it requires little depth. It only requires responding to the high energy of the moment. But love is revealed in stillness. When your energy softens, when the laughter fades, when you fall into quiet, what does he do? Does he grow restless, searching for the next thrill? Does he look away, pick up his phone, change the subject, or try to reignite the playfulness? Or does he remain present, grounded, at ease with the quietness of you simply being? A man who is connected to you through love does not fear silence. He does not flee when the moment slows. He settles into it. He allows the quiet to deepen. Because he is not here for entertainment, he is here for you. Think about the comfort of sitting with someone who doesn't need to fill every pause with words. The way time feels softer. The way you can breathe deeper. The way you feel safe. That is what love looks like in stillness. Lust may crave the climax, but love lingers in the calm. This is why many women feel a sharp emptiness after moments of physical closeness with a man who is driven only by desire. Because when the excitement is over, his presence vanishes. He pulls away, grows distant, or seems uninterested in the quiet conversation that follows. That emptiness is your soul recognizing that what you experienced was not true connection, but a temporary spark. But with love, intimacy does not end with the physical. It begins there and deepens beyond it. After the closeness, he stays, he listens, he talks with you for hours without rush or urgency. He doesn't only mirror your laughter, he mirrors your calm, your breath, your stillness. This is not a performance, it is his nervous system attuning to yours. His heart aligning with your rhythm. When you notice a man who can be with you not only in your light but also in your quiet, not only in your playfulness but also in your stillness, you are witnessing love that is real. Because true connection is not built in the highs, it is proven in the calm spaces in between. The presence that stays. One of the most profound truths about love is that it reveals itself not in what a man says, but in how he remains. Words are easy. Gestures can be rehearsed, but presence steady. Enduring presence is something that cannot be faked. When a man is driven by desire alone, his attention flickers. He arrives in moments of passion, when there is something to gain. But as soon as the thrill fades, so does he. His energy is like a tide that comes rushing in, only to retreat quickly, leaving you standing on the shore with the ache of absence. But when a man truly loves, his presence is consistent. He stays through the shifts of your mood, through the rhythm of your silence, through the strength of your boundaries. He does not vanish when the moment ceases to benefit him. He is there when things are joyful, and he is there when things are mundane. Think of the difference between a candle that burns brightly but dies in the wind, and a steady flame that continues to glow through the night. Lust is the first beautiful but brief. Love is the second quiet, but enduring. You can feel this difference in the little moments. When you are tired, does he soften and make space for you? Or does he withdraw because your energy no longer feeds his excitement? When you speak about your fears, does he lean in and listen? Or does he dismiss them because they are not convenient to hear? When you create space for your own needs, does he respect that space? Or does he treat it as rejection? Presence is not about grand gestures. It is about consistency. It is the way he chooses to show up when no one is watching. When there is no prize to be won. When there is nothing in it for him. And here lies the truth. Presence is love made visible. It is the silent promise that says, I see you, I hear you, I am with you. It does not ask you to perform. It does not disappear when challenged. It stays, even when staying requires patience and care. So as you reflect on the men in your life, or perhaps on the man standing beside you now, ask yourself, does his presence stay steady through your truth, your boundaries, your silence? Or does it shift like a shadow, appearing only when the light of excitement is shining? Because the man who loves you will not only walk with you in the moments of fire and passion, he will remain in the quiet corridors of life, where love is not proven by words or intensity, but by the gentle strength of simply being there. Love that grounds, not just excites. At the heart of it all, the difference between lust and love is not hidden in mystery, it is written in the way a man holds you beyond the surface. Lust is urgent, restless, always reaching for the next spark. Love is steady, patient, willing to sink into the quiet depths of who you are. A man who loves you does not only mirror your laughter, he mirrors your calm. He does not only stay when things are easy, he stays when they are difficult. He does not only look into your eyes when passion rises, he looks into them when you are sharing the tender, vulnerable parts of your soul. His warmth does not vanish when you set a boundary. His presence does not scatter when the energy slows down. This is how you can know. This is how you can protect your heart from being entangled in empty promises. Because love is not a performance, it is a presence. It does not vanish after desire is fulfilled. It deepens afterward. It does not demand you to be someone you are not. It cherishes the truth of who you already are. And perhaps this is the reminder you need today. You are worthy of a love that feels like safety, not suspense. A love that brings peace, not confusion. A love that stays, not one that leaves you questioning your worth. So, my dear listener, when you find yourself wondering about a man's intentions, remember his body speaks. It speaks in his gaze, in his presence after your boundaries, in how he sits with your stillness. Listen to that language, trust your intuition, and know that you deserve the kind of love that chooses you fully, not conditionally. This is not about judging men or labeling them as good or bad. It is about awakening your awareness so that you no longer waste your precious time on connections that cannot nourish your heart. It is about reclaiming your power, your clarity, and your peace. And if you take only one truth with you from this moment, let it be this: real love will not rush you, pressure you, or vanish when tested. Real love will remain, grounding you in a presence that feels like home. Thank you, my beautiful soul, for spending this time here with me on Whisper to Heal. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to stay connected with our community. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss these gentle reminders of love, healing, and self-discovery. Share this video with someone who may need to hear these words today. And let's continue to create a circle of awareness and healing together. Your journey deserves to be honored. Your heart deserves to be protected. And here, on Whisper to Heal, you will always find a space of safety, guidance, and light. Until next time, take a deep breath, trust yourself, and remember you are worthy of a love that stays.